Hello, everyone. You can call me Hunch because, baby, I got a sweet, sweet little hunch. Okay, today we're going to be talking about Bitcoin, obviously, because I love Bitcoin. But we're also going to be talking about it from a physics perspective and why it's important to recognize this. It took me many years to think about this, and I read a book by Stephen Hawking called, it's that famous book called The Theory of Time or whatever. Just go look it up. It's the most famous book of his. Anyway, it's about time and the history of it, the origins of it, how it works, how space-time can bend, how it changes based on your perspective, the speed of light. Are we viewing ourselves in the past because light takes 7 minutes to get to the Earth? Okay, gotcha. Anyway, so there's a huge problem on the Earth because it's rotating. And, people are living in different time zones, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so when we use our money and it settles at different times across the globe from different perspectives of people, we're going to have like lag times. We're going to have settlement problems. And this is where Bitcoin shines, okay, because it's not just time that we're measuring when we talk about a settlement or anything, like something happening, like your birthday. It's not just the time. Time is, and if you read Stephen Hawking's book, it's not separate from the space that you're in. It's space-time. It's never time. So Bitcoin is great for this because it timestamps exactly where it was in history that a transaction took place. And that's a beautiful thing because we live in a dynamic space-time world. We don't just live in a world where time is passing, right? We're occupying a space. And it's great to know where that transaction, settled in the history of the world because it goes on forever. Just like, the history of the world. It's been going on since the beginning of time, right? Or time as we know it. So if we can, know the exact space-time at which a settlement settled or a transaction settled, we can do a lot of things with it. It's not just about money. We can start documenting history better. We can know the exact points in time that something, scientific occurred, a discovery or a shift in climate or et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So that brings up another good point. We used to use the blockchain were history books, right? We used to document the world in books and through art and blah, blah, blah. And essentially those are less advanced technology, but they are blockchains, right? And so now we got Bitcoin and it's the most secure. It's been going on the longest of all the blockchains. And it is sort of like the history of our economy taking place on it right now and the development. But I believe that we'll be able to start storing our identities like with Microsoft Ion and take that even further. The history, our children, their children's children, discoveries, blah, blah, blah. No one can steal your discoveries because we're going to kind of like NFT our scientific papers and research. And so there's a lot of implications for, physics with Bitcoin. And so kind of to explain what I'm talking about, because I sound like a crazy person. Okay, so let's go to the board, okay? All right, so here we are. Time, we used to think time was like, like a linear line. Look, okay, time. This is when we used to think the Earth was like a square or like flat, okay? Then we made some discoveries and we're like, hey, that sailboat looks like it's going around the Earth. Maybe the Earth is round. Because we got like a sailboat out here. What colors are sailboats? Okay, we got boats. Look it looks like it's on. Okay. Well, maybe our space isn't a flat. Okay. Then we go through technology and we're like, oh, look, the sun, we're revolving around the sun. Okay, great. Read Stephen Hawking's book. I don't have time for it. The point is that essentially time and space can bend, right? So time is not a linear thing. It can bend, right? And we can be anywhere in here. And essentially we can like go back, back in time, forward in time, time goes in different directions. You know, if you're here and you're observing it from over here or over here or over here, you know, or these are all people observing things at different points in time. This could be like 1 million years ago. Okay, nobody knows. All right, the thing is Bitcoin is so efficient that it doesn't matter about all this, right? It's just gonna pick a universal time, okay, and it's going to document it based on our relative view of time, right? So if we're, you know, if Earth is over here, right, you know, some Martians are over there, they're viewing space-time in a different direction, but here's Earth. Okay, we're gonna have a universal settlement time in space-time with Bitcoin. Now that sounds absolutely insane to me, but you need to read Stephen Hawking's book, okay? Because when we start going interplanetary, we're gonna need a monetary system that's not settling, you know. So like, for example, here we got the Earth, right? Okay, the Earth is green, I hope, until we scorch it. Well, if we're in the future, Earth is on fire. Okay, whatever, climate change. Okay, so say now transactions somehow from these Earth fire people, they're settling, you know, payments, right, over here. But, you know, our future people are over on Mars, which now happens to be green. And this is, you know, Earth became Mars, and now Mars is green, okay? Because we burned the Earth. Here we go. So now we got space-time transactions over here on Mars. Okay, this is the fiery Earth. Okay, and these are settling at 2 different times because of the relation to the sun. You following me? So you can't use dollars in this bank. It's going to take like, okay, like a week to settle, okay? But over here, you know, 30 million miles away or however long Mars is, it's going to settle in like, you know, a year because of space-time, okay? And how it travels. But if you have a blockchain that's settling every 10 minutes between the 2 Earths, there's going to be a relative settlement time. I think. You know, that sounds crazy. Follow me now. Maybe this will get published by a famous physicist, okay? But an economist mixed in too. But Bitcoin is kind of merging everything right now. It's kind of merging, you know, economics, philosophy, physics into some kind of beautiful disaster, okay? If you're following me, great. If you're not, I don't even know what I'm saying. But that's besides the point. The point is that the settlement is a combination of space-time, and if we're settling on things with lag times, with weeks and weeks, essentially it's settling at different times for everybody. Okay, because some people are sleeping while other people are awake, the world is rotating. It's causing a whole bunch of issues, and then you add banks on top of it, which is more settlement layers, and it's causing so much inefficiency. If we can get a money that settles in space-time, the world is going to become not just like, it's going to become so efficient, we're not even going to understand the gains that our society can make. I mean, because Bitcoin was invented, we may be able to speed up the progress of a technology by like 1,000 years. We don't even know. Or it could destroy the Earth because, you know, economies start falling apart or blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I'm going to go with the first one. It could be a more brighter future that I hope to see. And plus, the Earth's already burning. So let's hope we get something a little bit better and brighter. Okay, but I'll talk about on the next, you know, thing, maybe something cool about how Bitcoin is actually green and helping reduce climate change and stuff like that. But we'll hope. I'm not that positive of a person, okay, as you can tell. Anyway, call me Hunch. I've got a hunch. You're the bomb. Watch my videos. I've got a lot of content coming. Thanks, baby.